Hertz is just a unit of measurement named after the German physicist Heinrich Rudolf Hertz. But what it actually measures? Well, it measures the wave frequency cycle over the duration of 1 second. In simple words, Hertz tells us how many times a periodic event occurs in 1 second. Let's visualize this with a quick example using Desmos. Alright, so here our x-axis represents the number of seconds elapsed. And now I will plot a simple sine wave. So now sine wave will start at 0, then rises to 1 at half pi, then comes back to 0 at pi, then drops down to -1 at 1.5 pi, then goes back to 0 at 2 pi, which is also known as tau. So to make this cycle complete in 1 second, I will simply multiply my input with 2 pi, also known as tau. So now sine wave will start at 0, then rises to 1, then drops down to -1, and comes back to 0, all within that 1 second time frame. This is 1 Hertz. So if I go Hertz equals 2, and I multiply my Hertz with the input. So now the sine wave will basically repeat twice in 1 second. And if I go Hertz equals 4, it will repeat 4 times and so on. Now just like any other unit in metric system, there are kilohertz, which will be 1000 Hertz, then megahertz, which will be 1000 kilohertz, and you get the idea. My monitor's refresh rate right now is 60 Hertz, which means each pixel on my screen is getting redrawn 60 times in 1 second. Or you can think of any budget CPU, which could have a clock speed upwards of 3 GHz. Now if I generate some irregular wave, and drops the Hertz back to 1, then even this wave will repeat exactly once every second. Now you might be saying that, but Digvijay, how Hertz relates to shaders? So let's head over to Shader to see it in action. Okay, so here I will clean up some things first, and then make my UVs origin in the middle. Divide it with I resolution.y to compensate for the aspect ratio. And let's go like 3. Let's visualize the UV. So right now I have the UVs that has 0, 0 here, and the the y-axis will go from 0.5 to -0.5, but this x-axis or x component can go beyond that range because I've compensated for the aspect ratio. Alright, now I will quickly draw a circle here. So that's simply length of UV minus some radius. That's 2 pigs. So 1, 0, and this. Let's simply get circle. Now let's say I want to make this circle flicker 4 times in 1 second. So I can use that Hertz calculation I've shown you earlier. So here, let's simply go float Hertz equals, let's say 4. And then I will simply go Hertz multiply equals I time multiply 2 pi or tau, so 6.28318 and 5 digits after 6 digits after the decimal place is more than enough, unless you're doing some rocket science. Alrighty, now I will go float flicker equals sine wave of my Hertz and the sine wave will go from -1 to 1. So let's remap this. So for that I will again use smooth step, and now let's say I want value that are lower than 0 to be 0, and value that is bigger than, let's say, 0.3 to be 1. And then if I simply multiply the circle with my flicker value, okay, I forgot the decimal point. So now my circle is flickering 4 times in 1 second. So let me drop the hertz value back to 1 so we can actually visualize it. Just keep the eye on this second counter, okay? So 1. It's blinking once every second. And if I go 2, it will blink twice. And you get the idea, right? Now, if you are using this, just make sure that you don't exceed this hertz value beyond your monitor's refresh rate or your game's FPS. So right now my FPS is 60 frames. So if I try to go beyond that, let's say 100 hertz, it could result in some weird output. I don't know if it's capturing that or not, but let's go 7 and it breaks basically. Even at 65 it breaks. So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay, let's go back to 2. And this is the same technique I used to recreate this Kakashi's lightning blade. For each bolt I applied the hertz calculation to create this flickering effect. You can of course check out the code on the website. I will leave a link below, and that's all I have for you today. So yeah, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one.